Equipment that you know how to use, that you've practiced with, and that is approved by some medical authority within your department, division, whatever. It's important to know what you carry and how to use it. Tourniquets. I'm always a big fan of one is none, two is one. That's a military thing, but people have more than one limb, and what happens, God forbid, if a second officer gets injured, or a civilian, or yourself? So carrying two tourniquets, combat gauze, quick clot, something that helps stop bleeding. Yes, gauze, tissues, newspaper can help stop bleeding with a good pressure, but you want to take advantage of all the technology we have to get the best chance of stopping bleeding. So quick clot combat gauze is probably the way to go, or a similar product, although that's the one I like. Besides that, believe it or not, simple things, whether it's Band-Aids, moleskin, because people are going to get little things that happen and you want to cover up a wound as quick as you can, so covering up with Band-Aids or simple dressing. But don't get fancy. People will tell you chest seals for penetrating chest injuries. You don't bother. You don't need it. It's not going to make that big of a difference. If you are very, very rural, because that's a completely different talk here, Wayne. If we go real rural, where you're 30, 40, 2 hours from healthcare, is a different talk than inner city, or at least in a community where you have access to hospitals that can help you, preferably a trauma center, but if not, at least somewhere that can lay hands on you and help you out. But tourniquets, combat gauze are the two biggest things, knowing how to use them for sure, more than one tourniquet. And in terms of IFAK, does it have to actually be in a kit, or can it just be on you? It can just be on you. My preference, unlike your service weapon, which is on your left or right hip, can you reach it with your other hand? The answer is with great difficulty. You want everything central, on your vest, behind your vest, on your belt, somewhere where left hand or right hand can get to it. Because if one of the hands isn't working, how do you get it? So I'm a big fan of center, or at least to where a left hand can come across to the right side and grab, versus to a right hip. If you want to put it in the small of your back on your belt, that's fine, but somewhere where both hands can get it, and please practice. Don't just put it there and forget it. Every time you go to the range, every time you're on training, practice with your medical gear, just like you're training with OC or weapon or any other piece of equipment you have. Your IFAK medical gear should be practiced with. Absolutely, and honestly, the best way is to standardize it across a department. Everybody should have the same or similar setups. They should not be a one-off. That's dangerous, honestly, because if another officer comes to help you, where are they going to find your gear? Because you're supposed to use the person who is injured, their gear on them, saving your gear for you or somebody else, God forbid. But it should be same or similar setups for everybody. And yes, the IFAK kit itself should be marked. What I see on patrol officers is typically a tourniquet is out and obvious, but if you are containing it in a kit, whether it has a little cross on it, or it says IFAK, individual first aid kit, or some other designation to show that is where your equipment is. But again, standardization within a department, within a platoon, within whatever you are calling yourselves these days as a unit, standardized, same or similar. That way everybody knows what it is, including a civilian passerby who is offering to help law enforcement. They need to be able to identify your gear to help you, God forbid you need it. In a perfect world, a training tourniquet is the right answer. Your tourniquet should no longer be in its wrapper. It should be unwrapped and available for use. Take it out of the wrapper, use it at least once, get used to your tourniquet, because different tourniquets on the market are used by different agencies. But don't continuously train with your tourniquet. It can weaken it. Not that it should fail. A good solid tourniquet, commercially available, not a knockoff not an Amazon tourniquet, should last. But ideally, you should use a training tourniquet to train with. And what I tell people is, if it gets used, save it, wash it off, save it as a training tourniquet. You can also go to your local hospitals. Emergency rooms typically save old tourniquets and will wash them and hand them back out. That's what we do at our facility. We hand them right back out for training. And plus, when I go to train our teams, I also have a few dozen training tourniquets to use, but they are designated training tourniquets. Again, ideally you want to use the same tourniquet so there's no question of how it functions, how it's placed, how it tightens, and if you're using two different tourniquets, you may not remember at a moment's notice, oh, I forgot I have to turn this one this way and snap it in, and that one I have to pull a buckle, and it makes more common sense. Common sense isn't always common, but we try and maintain common sense. If you have two tourniquets, they should ideally be the same. A lot of departments will only issue one. Tourniquets are not that expensive. Your life is worth a lot of money. It is worth the $30, $35 to go buy another tourniquet that is similar to the one that's issued to you, but a lot of agencies are issuing two. A lot of times they tell the officer one in your kit in the car and one on you. What's wrong with putting two on you, and then when you're done your shift, put the one back in the car for the next guy? That's okay. Whatever it takes, but ideally have two of the same. Make the decision, do it. If you think it, do it. If you're wrong, when we get to you or EMS gets to you, we do what's called tourniquet conversion, meaning we have control of the situation. We then establish a logical reason to keep it or remove it, because sometimes it was put on and you didn't need it because in the heat of the moment, you saw blood, you saw an injury, you put on a tourniquet thinking you were going to bleed more or bleed out, you put it on. We establish the idea of, is it necessary? Do we need to continue it? Go to the operating room, do whatever we have to do, or can we loosen it and remove it? But if you think it, do it. Which brings me to a quick point. If you don't train with a tourniquet on your limb, you will never know what it's like to stay in a fight with a tourniquet. What we used to do with my old SWAT team here in Arizona is we would go to the range and we would actually apply a tourniquet, cut off the circulation, and see how long that limb will last in terms of functionality. How long can I hold a weapon? How long can it be my primary hand with a long gun? Or how long can it be with a sidearm, a pistol, with a tourniquet on and fully functional? Some guys last many minutes until the arm just literally does give out because of lack of blood flow. But it's good to know what you have in terms of your reserve, putting on a tourniquet on an arm or a leg, and then staying in the fight. So good practice. Again, training, training, training.